50 years ago, maybe our grandparents, definitely hardcore audiophiles, listened to Marantz Model 30, the advanced integrated amplifier from an American brand. Many people believe Marantz is from Japan, but it is actually an American brand, especially since it was acquired by the Sound United Corporation. Finally, we have completed testing our sweet couple of the latest Model 30 integrated amplifier's Super Audio CD player. Let us take a look. Let us finally give him a grade, because we did the unpacking literally recently. If interested, be sure to watch. Today we will evaluate these devices. Let's take a look at design and see continuities while introducing new features. At first glance, this appears to be a completely different device compared to the old Marantz, such as the PM series or Karubi. Thanks to this two-level facade, by the way, there is a small downside. This material is plastic, which is not very good. But in everything else, I understand that it is metal. At least this facade is definitely metal, it's thick. Positioned behind him is a LED strip that emits such a tender and beautiful yellowish white color, between white and yellow. In complete darkness, its facade appears to emit a subtle glow. The regulators are also made at a high level, and it seems to me that they are iron. At least they cool pleasantly, cool your hands, move smoothly, pleasantly, nothing is loose, and at the same time they are silent. And again, there are no holes or openings that unfortunately are found in such top devices as the same Bryston or Hagel. The same can be said about the Super Audio CD player, which is also a DAC. It is also a DVD player, as far as I know. Honestly, I haven't tried playing DVDs on it, but it should be able to. If this is not the case, please correct me. So here's a twin brother, but the screen is much bigger. He's even better than, for instance, in the Denon AVC A110 receiver. The buttons are pressed very well, smoothly, but they are once again made of plastic, resulting in a slight cheap sound. However, overall they look great together. Although I still really like the Karubi PM series, I think it has a more serious and brutal design compared to this one. You can clearly see that this design is exclusively Japanese, while the previous one was more European, glamorous, and modern. These devices are designed to please everyone, which is why Marlins have included a phono preamp that is compatible with cartridges as well as MC. Additionally, the engineers have incorporated 3 levels of resistance in this phono preamp. I must say that it sounds good, although not as good as the Rega. Nonetheless, it is still decent. Let's open the tray, which is strangely functioning well. Well, never mind. In Japanese devices, even at this level, we see a socket without grounding. The desired inscription, "Made in Japan," adorns both devices. One optical input, second coaxial USB. And we also have an optical output and a coaxial output, which is quite in demand, I think, in such a device. Ethernet connection and 2 Wi-Fi antennas. On the left side, we observe audio out. We possess fixed and variable. This means that you can use the player as a preamplifier, although I think it's better not to do so. What I really liked about the integrated amplifier is the labels. Look how cool, impressive, big copper they are. I think they're cooler than Hagel, pricier than Marantz, but at least they provided grounding for the phono preamp, which is pleasing. As we can see on the left, there is a large block of inputs and outputs. Well, as always, we have line 1, line 2, and you can also use audio out, pre-out, power amp in, CD connection as a recorder, as you wish. If you desire to utilize it as a home theater, a powerful one, then please note that no one forbids you from doing so. Inputs are not separated like in the same Bryston. They are all in a crowded place on the left. They are done well enough, although if you look closer, not as qualitatively as in the 135th integrator from the Canadian company Bryston. And I particularly enjoy these small bolts of such a copper hue. This is the essence of what the Japanese intend. They even take care of such little things, and it immediately warms the soul. Application HEOS, I would like to stop on it in more detail. Let's see how it looks. Here we discover our Marantz. He is online and it takes a lot of time for him to power on. This is incorrect, friends. Please search for your devices. What do we observe in this location? We go to music and a bunch of different services. We have Opening Door, Spotify, Music Dazzle, Pandora, TuneIn. I personally only utilize these two services. You can also insert a compact disc, play it, and see what is playing at the present moment, for instance, smoothjazz.com. What is the procedure for changing it? As an illustration, access title, then go to My Music, followed by Albums or Tracks. Everything is simple. On one hand. On the other hand, the app periodically freezes, periodically lags, and it flies out. I dislike this. In terms of convenience, when comparing it with Sonos or BlueOS, it seems to me that HEOS is definitely falling behind them in terms of performance and features at the current moment. The same Manic Mouse interface as Brighton's, a web interface, is more convenient for Tidal. Here, for instance, take a look. Now observe the fragile play. Here it plays, but how not to switch, for example, now just to the performer Sting? You see, it doesn't click. That is, we have to go out and choose to search for Sting. For example, with listening to the song, we can't do it. It seems to me that this is a very big minus, of course. We saved only 2 pieces against more than 20 of our Canadian hero. Oops, a heavy lid, definitely not aluminum and thick. But inside, everything is cool and the wires on the shelves are not tangled. The only thing is that if you don't know that the device works in Class D, and it is exactly Class D, you will see that the transformer is quite small and at the same time very well shielded. This is done in order to ensure that Class D amplifiers do not interfere with the preamplifier and do not distort its sound. This amp uses a Hypex Class D module, same as in PM10, but in this case, if we have only one module per channel in this device, then in PM10 it has 2 modules per channel, so the power is twice as high for the older sibling. Here we have a classic 100W per channel at 8 ohms, or 200W power doubled when connected to 4 ohms. I believe that this is a fairly worthy indicator. Radiators at every step. An interesting feature is this copper plate, which also separates 2 blocks. Here we also have a phono preamp. It's just a little lower. Again, he is very seriously shielded. The amplifier is also equipped with a moving coil and a phono corrector with a moving magnet, supplied with the Marantz Musical Premium Phono EQ scheme and the so-called Marantz HDAM technology for the highest sound quality. The sound is cool. The Phono EQ cascade in the Model 30 amplifier can be used with both moving magnet and low output moving coil cartridges, thanks to the built-in MC amplifier. Moving the handle to low gives us 33 ohms, MC mid is 100 ohms, and MC height is 390 ohms. Thus, you can pick almost any cartridge head for this device. As usual, the Elna capacitors have a capacitance of 6800 microfarads. Once more, 2 bolts are undone and the lid opens, revealing its weight once again, heavy as before. Here we see the same screen, but more organized, and inside, listen, at first glance it appears to be an esoteric, only in a deteriorated state. However, nonetheless, observe, everything appears cool. This player utilizes the patented Marantz SACD M3L USB DAC transport mechanism, which is integrated with the HEOS platform. By the way, we are currently observing, she is with radiators, 3 ferrite filters next to a toroidal transformer, which is also shielded. His appearance reminds me of an esoteric. Look at this inscription, banned. It means the transformer is from Banda Electronics, a famous Malaysian company. On the website of this manufacturer it states, "Welcome to the pursuit of natural sound." Well, really, our sound is like straight, it turns out natural, powerful and traction at the same time thin, in a positive sense of the word. Capacitors adored by Marantz, Elna. I can observe at least 2 of them present here, potentially a couple more concealed beneath the second board. Here we have a 2-level structure. The left side is quite spacious. With these friends, I can confidently say they deserve a solid 8 in terms of sound. Not a 9, not a 6, not a 5, not a 10, but specifically an 8. Why? Due to their moderate sweetness, power, speed and accuracy, these speakers have a typical Maro sound. However, it is diluted with digital amplification, which is noticeable to those who truly understand sound and have extensive experience with hi-fi equipment. They can be identified as playing in the digital class D You can hear it especially in the vocals. It's a little cold, kind of distant, but overall the sound on these devices is very good and accurate. It's parodic and at the same time hereditary. Once more, you will consistently comprehend that it is Marantz in front of you, not some Laxman or Hegel. Rammstein surrendered to this bundle. The sound was very powerful, assertive. The only thing is that the bottom is a little bit uncollected, but thanks to the good attack, this sound could be forgiven by this combination. The vocals of the instrumental composition sounded excellent, solid 4 out of 5 on a 5-point scale. If you want to get a versatile sound that you like in almost any circumstances, then this combo is definitely for you. Functionally, these devices deserve 10 points. They are very powerful, specifically as a tandem, because they have practically everything for an audiophile. And can play discs and the HEOS module and Wi-Fi, and you can use it as a DAC without any issues, and you can connect a removable hard drive. It will read everything, including DSD and FLAC. In general, again, a device for everyone. It is evident that the engineers wanted to create a universal device, and it seems to me that they succeeded. Reliability 9 PTS, made in Japan. We opened devices, observed everything inside is good, high quality, and it does not have an extended warranty. Designers from Marantz give him a rating of 10 for his appearance because he truly stands out, thanks to the LED strips positioned on the sides of his outfit. I believe that if you place it on the shelf, it fits perfectly into any interior, but it is more suitable, so to speak, for a luxurious interior, for such an elevated, rich one, if, for instance, you put it in a loft-style interior design. Although, you know, he looks good in the loft as well, because our room is made in precisely this style. So, in terms of design, I believe that it deserves 10 points for experimentation, despite the fact that I really like the old design of Marantz, especially the PM series. I considered it to be such a samurai-like Japanese minimalism, but I also like this bright style, so personally I can't pass by without looking at this amplifier or player. Ergonomics 8 points. I think that the HEOS application is the Achilles heel of these devices at the moment for both Denon and Maros, because it operates in an unstable manner. It freezes periodically, but overall it is usable. This is certainly not a complete failure, but at the same time it is not an ideal application. I also have complaints about usability with the help of its buttons. Plastic buttons, they are pressed, it seems to me a little cheap and again not always intuitive. The tray does not open on the initial attempt, you need to press it, then wait, then press it once more. I am still unable to comprehend this algorithm. However, in general, everything appears to be quite intuitive and easy to grasp. In regards to the price and quality, I believe that these two devices merit a rating of 9. While they may not be the top devices in this category, they are nonetheless considered benchmark devices due to their ability to play nearly any content and their comprehensive functionality. Yes, they are quite expensive, but if you need a complete solution device when you only want to add 2 columns, then you can confidently take this tandem because you will get everything from life. This is truly serious, high quality sound that rocks the speakers with confidence. Our KFR 900 rocked it. At a higher volume, it was evident that he no longer controls the KFR 900, but at the same time, at medium volume and low volume, everything was fine. We also linked the Model 30 BW803D3, everything was fine there, but when we raised the volume even more, we recognized that 100 watts is still insufficient to power these speakers. Yet again, it was at an exceedingly high volume. If you listen at a moderate volume, at a low volume, then the control is good. You can connect virtually anything without any problems whatsoever. Competition in this segment is fairly serious, but Marantz definitely has something to offer. Therefore, I believe that these devices will be quite successful and in demand on the market.